Hello everyone, welcome to this week's weekly recap from February 24th to February 28th. Let's go! And as always, starting off with the Wednesdays, we continued on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, we continued Kashyyyk, and quickly learning there is some premium gear to be found in Skyrim. We checked it out, but it was absolute crap, not worth it to go back to. We checked up some final stuff on Manan, and then we went back to Kashyyyk and we worked through things. We arrive at the Wookiee village, where we find that the brother of Zelda has taken over as the chieftain because he got his father to get off and to the Shadowlands, and he sends us to the Shadowlands to kill his own father. Like, Chumbar, please. Nonetheless, in the Shadowlands, we meet Jolie, which is a male Jedi dude. Anyways, he asks us to get rid of people as violently as possible. We felt hardcorely and we had to kill them all. He was not happy with that. Nonetheless, he joins our party and we further meet or however the hell you pronounce that name. And he's being bothered by some Mandalorians. He asks us to kill the Mandalorians. We do this though, and it was pretty easy. Then we meet the father of both Zolber and Shundra, and we actually help him out getting the blade back from a monster. And in the meantime, we also find the star map. In that time, we head back to Shundar to face him. Sadly enough, we have to kill him, and our little friend Zolber gets the blade with him. And unless after that, we go to the star maps planet, or at least the planet was revealed by collecting all of the star maps. We work through that. We find this guy called the Chosen One. He wants us to kill some council. We agree. I mean, we don't, but you know. After that, we find the council, and as we said, we kill the Chosen One instead, proving ourselves to be once again worth to go inside the temple. Inside the temple, we work through, we find Bastella, who has now been converted to the dark side, and after that, we disable the Starforge shields. We attack the Starforge, we work through all the enemies, a much amount of enemies, that's all I can say, and we fight Bastilla, and we convert her back to to the light side. What the hell am I thinking? We use the love option to make her claim her love for us because we're that nice. Anyways, we head after that to Darth Malik. We defeat him, and that's where our journey ends as a Jedi Master. As we come down to Thursdays, with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic finished, we started off with the new game, Portal Knights, which was a game that was released on this day. After 2 hours, I got pretty bored of it because it seemed the same thing over and over again, and after that, we decided to start on the Uncharted series. Of course, starting with Uncharted 1, Drake's Deception. And the first thing we do is, of course, the boat tutorial part, where you learn how to shoot and whatnot. We are later saved by Sully and his plane, which is a little companion of the main character. And we also learned about El Dorado. Sully decides for us to ditch the reporter, Elena, and we end up in some forest area after that. We get a little tutorial about how to climb, whatnot, and we find the underground ruins, which already has been raided by the Spanish, and Sully goes absolutely pissed off. Of course, we get a few little puzzles like having to light some torches, a button order puzzle, we collapse an area, and well, we first end up running through some area that goes massive collapsing, and Sully gets the easy work by just jumping over the bridges after that. Anyways, not much later we find a German sub, and apparently Sully has made some enemies in his time being, and they find him and they kill Sully. So after that, we have to run from these bad guys, and we actually get saved by Elena somehow, and I have no idea how that happens. Anyways, after that, we get a little shooting and how to take cover about that tutorial, and we make our way back to the plane. After getting to the new island, we get shot out of the sky and we crash down. We apparently have lost Elena in progress as well, and we have to work through some jungle, some bandits, we have to jump some rocks. We find our crashed plane and we actually decided to leave it up there. And coming down to the Fridays, we continue where we left off yesterday on the plane, and we once again work through a bunch of enemies, and we have to climb this castle-ish looking building. Anyways, after that, we have to find some hints. We do see Elena, we don't get her just yet, and we had to work through a whole bunch of waves of enemies. And I really mean a lot. We also get into some underground area, which kind of reminded me of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, if you all have played that. Anyways, after that, we have to climb the tower, we have to get the keys, and we get to some area where a mounted machine gun is, and whoa, that area's annoyingly hard. Anyways, we do save Elena, or better said, she saves us because we get captured by this guy called Eddie, and she uses a car to pull out the rails and the walls out of it so we can escape. Anyways, after we do that, we get a car little segment, we work through our city ruins, and we find out that Sully's alive. How? Not sure. But nonetheless, we find out that Eddie's going a certain direction, and we follow him by using some water jets. And we end up in a jungle full of traps, and also a whole bunch of enemies with lasers. After that, we get with some old temple, and well, we have to get into the library where we find Sully. Apparently, Little Book has saved him from getting shot to the heart. I mean, that lucky bastard. And he hasn't gone bad, so that's all good. And that's where we end up on the Fridays. And coming down to the Retro Saturdays with our last stream finishing Star Fox Adventures. I was actually planning to play Ocarina of Time with the 3 Heart Challenge, but some difficulties happened. So nonetheless, I grabbed my GameCube, my Game Boy player, I started up some Legend of Zelda, the Minish cap. So what pretty much starts off, you have to go with a little market with Zelda, and you get a shield from her, and then you see the winner of the tournament, which is Vadi, who is the bad guy, and he turns Zelda into stone, and he also breaks the sacred sword. After a little brabbling with the king, we get sent off to Minish Forest with the sword to get it to the fort. In the meantime, we find this talking head, which is also a person that has been cursed by Vadi. We find the village, and we have to eat some nut to speak the language of the Minish. Nonetheless, after that, to reinforce the sword, we need 4 elements, and we get sent off to the first temple. We pretty much, as always, work through there. We get this Gust Blower item, and we beat the giant slime boss of that temple. We get sent off to Mount Clemmer next, and a little shortcut to get out of the forest a lot faster, and on the way out we get a bomb bag. Also we go to town, we learn the spin attack, we learn about kinstone fusing, and also we capture some cuckoos for rupees, because who doesn't like rupees? From those rupees we buy a bigger ruby bag and some other stuffs, and well, we struggled to get into Mount Clemmer, and yeah, we decided to leave that for next week. So let's head off to the Sundays. Coming down to Sundays, which are our Sunday modded Skyrim. We, as always, did a few edits to some mods, and we also re-enabled Health Regen because, to explain, I don't like dying randomly because I keep getting stuck at 3 health. I mean, I go faster or I just randomly die. What the hell is that about? So nonetheless, we do that. We return to Whiterun, and we return the Dragonstone we found on our previous day. So yeah, after that we get the famous first dragon kill of the main quest, and we learn Foos! After doing that, we continued our Thieves Guild quest, which was clearing Golden Glow, or better said, burn 3 things and steal some stuff out of his safe. We did that. It took quite a while because we're not that strong yet, and plus, it's Requiem. After doing that, we do some Vex repeatables to get some money for Breeze Home because we wanted a house so badly. And we ended off the stream with starting off the Brotherhood Guild quest. And as always, I would like to thank you guys for watching this week's Weekly Recap. Did you like the video? Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Would you like to see more, or would you want to see more? Hit up that subscribe button. Would you like to see me live sometimes? Hit up the Twitch thing and follow my channel to get a notification when I go live. And of course, you can always see last week's recap by clicking the video down below. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, this is Ratkanos, and I'm out. And I'll see you guys in next week's recap.